Howdy y'all, welcome to the Dirt Road Grocery Store. I've got a method for you for zeroing in scopes that don't have accurate adjustments. We got a worst possible scenario here. We've got a cheap scope, cheap mounts that are way too high on the gun. It's going to be hard to get a good cheek with them. I bought this stuff because it was cheap, but that doesn't mean you won't have this problem with a reasonably priced scope. It actually is kind of difficult to get scope adjustments to work. You need to spend some money, and you have to know how to mount the scope and use good quality mounting equipment. This method will allow you to save some ammunition. You don't have to shoot and adjust, and walk it in when your scope adjustments don't work right anyway. You can spend a lot of money sighting in a scope because the ammunition costs so much and you have to shoot so much. So, we're going to do this in two shots. First, we got to figure out how to open the 22 ammunition. There we go. I apologize if the video bounces around some. This is my backyard facility. And y'all may notice we got a lot going on. I don't have no time to do anything, really. And what has happened here is I've jammed up the gun. But I'm using it in a way it's not really meant to work. They make single shot followers for guns like this when you're trying to load them one at a time. I didn't buy one. Alright, we're going to get the gun on target. You have to have a very stable rest that will at least return to where it was after the vibrations from shooting have passed. Okay, there we are. I'm not influencing the gun by touching it with my cheek. It's going to recoil and return on its own. And I'm going to put one shot downrange. And then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this deal. Put a little pressure into the back of the stock. Forces here are forward from my shoulder and back from my finger. Whew! When you're used to shooting subsonics all the time, that high velocity's got a crack. Okay. Now I've got a solid mounting system here. I've got a range on paper. I hope I got a range on paper. A round on paper. Did I hit anything? It looks like I hit just about exactly 6 o'clock. Okay, so what I've got here is a solid mounting system. I'm using a sight vise. About 7 o'clock. I'm using a sight vise. You could use sandbags, but really, all it has to do is hold the gun in place. Now, all we do here is we adjust the turrets, set this on the bullseye, and then we use the turrets to watch the reticle move to the bullet hole. That way we don't have to rely on the adjustments. Y'all hear that dog? He is losing his mind. And you watch the reticle move to the bullet hole. Then the reticle is where it would have been if the gun had been zeroed when you fired the shot. And then, of course, you probably want to shoot again. I knew a fellow one time. He thought since the scope had the word loophole on the side, he only had to shoot it and adjust it. He didn't feel like he had to check it because there's a loophole. Well, this was back in the days when loophole adjustments weren't that great. In fact, I think they were just felt washers or something. So he went and sighted in his gun, adjusted it according to the turrets, and missed a big old buck. He was sick. He could at least check. But point of the antidote is just because you spend some money on a scope doesn't mean those turrets are going to work, and you're going to waste a bunch of ammunition sighting it in if you don't have a method to work around that. There are scopes that do work and mounting systems that do work, but they're expensive. They're more than most people spend on a scope. Definitely not a $300 deer scope. Okay, so we're just going to set it on there and walk to the bullet hole. I did not want to edit this video, therefore I am going to do this without walking down to the target and putting a sticker on there. If you put a sticker and just dial to the sticker, it'd probably work a lot better. But ain't nobody got time for that. We got experience. Alright. I'm not influencing the gun by touching it. Okay. It's about where the bullet hole is. I have to finalize the zero on this with the shooter because I'm not the shooter. This is Rex's gun. I may have mentioned that I bought a cheap scope and mount because he's going to break it. I know he will. Hopefully the rifle will survive. Now we're going to adjust back. Well, I ought to cheat and go get my good squirrel rifle and come put a hole dead middle of this red spot, and then y'all won't know if I did it right or not. Ooh, that's loud. All right. Was I telling the truth or was I lying? Let's go find out. I'm going to cheat and check before I walk down there. We're close to the red. Come on, yeah. I don't know how accurate that rifle is with that round. This may be within its accuracy. I haven't shot a group with it. And this is just old Federal bulk. So this may actually be perfectly zeroed. It may be a little off. Alrighty. First round, second round. Now, that may be within the accuracy of that rifle and load. 22, you have to experiment a lot to find a bullet that fits the bore and a velocity that makes it exit when the muzzle is in the right spot. But anyhow, I think most people would call that zero. We're just going to shoot more to check, and I am not the shooter, so I need to fine tune with the shooter because his head position is going to affect parallax and move it off a little bit from where it would be with me. So, I think this worked. You think this worked? Then use it. If you don't think it worked, waste a whole bunch of ammunition spraying and praying. Well, that's the Dirt Road Grocery Store for today. We appreciate y'all and look forward to seeing you next time. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side as long